The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
I'm your girl, the plainest Jane, and let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now. What up and welcome back. It's your girl Jane, the plainest Jane. Happy Friday. I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. It's technically Saturday over here in Baltimore, but it's still Friday night for me. Okay. Now for the members, you know, we just did our thing backstage. We had an exclusive. We had something special for you all. So that's why we coming on so late. But listen, that's just one of the perks of being a member of this channel. You can join for as low as $1.99. But I ain't trying to sell y'all anything quite yet. Y'all know it's your girl Jane, the plainest Jane, and I serve syrup in the form of black news and celebrity entertainment. Now, y'all know things are always sticky in Hollywood in real life, and boy, do we have a lot of things that we need to discuss and get into the stickiness of it all this evening. So obviously we're talking about MoNique and Daddy. MoNique and Daddy. They didn't close their relationship. Okay, so they've closed their relationship, and we're gonna discuss that a bit. Y'all know MoNique is from Baltimore, so shout out to Baltimore and everybody from here and all the creative juices. So we're talking MoNique. We're talking the tummy tuck 4. What and why are the tummy tuck 4? We'll talk about it. Danae Jackson, has she lost it? Y'all know Derek Jackson's soon-to-be ex-wife. I don't think the divorce paperwork has finally went all the way through yet. Has she lost it or not? We're gonna talk about it. Kaepernick has a sudden, I wouldn't say a moment of insight or revelation about his adoptive parents, but he definitely shared something that, yeah, we're going to talk about it. Also, I have some updates on a couple of different stories that I covered before. The woman who shot her husband right here, well, she's from right here in Baltimore. She drove to DC to do it. I have an update on her. The 6-year-old who decided to take a GUN, to take a firearm to school, and actually shots were fired at his teacher. She spent 2 weeks at the hospital through her hand and through her chest, a 6-year-old. And then also there was a Black woman who she went to a used dealership. She test drove a vehicle that was less than $5,000. She came back. She had some questions, and the salesman decided that because she forgot her ID and she didn't purchase the vehicle, that he wanted to PP on her ID, and they posted it on social media. So I've got a couple of updates. We've got some stuff going on in the celebrity world, and then I have some real world Black news stories that we're gonna get into this evening. So it's definitely gonna be a good show. Make sure you come on in, pay your fare, pay your fare, pay your fare. Okay, it's free to pay your fare on this bus, and when I say pay your fare, I just mean hit the thumbs up button. I'm not asking you to donate any money or to send a cash app, although you can if you want to, but really all I ask you to do is support the show for free and hit the thumbs up button. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. I hope y'all are having a good evening. I hope that y'all had a good week. And if not, I hope you're able to decompress and have a great weekend to reset for the next week. And y'all know daylight savings time and all that is going on. So we definitely need to prepare. And this is not a good start, but start going to bed a little bit earlier so that it doesn't hit us as hard on Monday morning when it's time to get to work on time. Okay? So without further ado, let's get into everything we need to talk about. But first, let me ask y'all a question, because the last time I ate, it was about like 4 o'clock. What y'all had for dinner? Because I'm gonna have to go downstairs and figure something out in the kitchen. I thought I was gonna be hungry around 9 or 10 o'clock, and I was gonna eat something, but I wasn't quite hungry then. So, what did y'all eat for dinner? Let me know down below in the chat. And also, if you're watching. If you're chasing the bus, which means you're watching the replay, let me know what the heck y'all had for dinner. Okay, so we got warmed out. the girls are out, you know, it's Friday night, the girls are out. All right. And let's go ahead and get into the show. We've got a lot of things that we need to discuss. Okay.
You're tuned in to Jane, the plainest Jane. Be sure to thumbs up the video and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Now, first, I want to get into Shanteari Weems. And if you don't know who Shanteari Weems is, she's the woman from Baltimore, 50 years old, Black woman, owned a daycare. A couple of different parents came to her and said, hey, your husband is doing some stuff to my kids, showing my kids inappropriate things, and we got a problem. And so what she did was she lured him to a hotel in DC and she decided to shoot him. And that's exactly what she did. And she got 4 years. She's done her first ever interview. And a lot of people feel like she's a hero. It's me. I'm people. It's me. Because society doesn't do enough to punish pedophiles. Okay. And y'all know how I feel about pedophiles. That's why I was so passionate about the R. Kelly thing. And so I do have the information to put money on her books. So you definitely need to stay tuned for that. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to put money on her books. But first, I want to sort of look at her first ever interview and what she had to say about the moment she did it, why she did it. And actually, this is it's a clip, but it's not the full interview that she did, but it does give us some insight. Oh, shout out to Shay Gem Dropper for the $5 Cash App. I do appreciate that. Okay. Shout out to you for showing some love to me and the channel. But let's get into Shanteari Weems and what she has to say from behind bars. It's unfortunate that she's getting time, but what's great about it is her husband is being charged for almost 40 different charges for his illicit interactions with minors. Let's take a look, and don't forget to hit thumbs up for this video because I give y'all stories and I follow up on the stories when there are updates. And this is exactly what this is because I did report on this when it happened.
Hi, how are you? Bruce LeShan.
The judge says Shanteari Weems took the law into her own hands. But she says she snapped, and some supporters see her as a kind of avenging angel, seeking justice for horrible crimes against children.
I was emotional.
Her backers were stunned last month when a judge slapped the 50-year-old with a 4-year sentence, twice what even prosecutors recommended in a plea deal.
Despite my surroundings, I'm doing okay. I have a lot of supporters and people who uplift me and help me survive.
Prosecutors have charged her husband, James Weems, with 33 counts of rape and child sex crimes. He's awaiting trial, and his lawyer is declining to comment.
Don't let them sweep this under the rug. The man is still alive. And
right from the start, the internet was filled with support for Weems under the hashtag #FreeShanteari. She shot her husband, a retired cop, twice in his room at what was then DC's Mandarin Oriental Hotel, where he was staying while providing security at the Urban League convention. The judge said her attack on her husband was premeditated, not spontaneous, that police had told her days earlier that they were investigating him, and they'd shut down her little kid's castle in Baltimore County while they looked into the allegations of child sexual abuse.
The only person I had to find out information from was my husband. And he kept saying he didn't do it.
And you believed him?
I did believe him.
But then, she says, the mother of one of the children, a child she'd loved and cared for years, said they had to talk.
I saw the pain in her face, and I knew that she was not lying. She finally said it was my husband.
You think about that child all the time?
All the time. I think about all the children all the time.
You felt this complete betrayal of trust?
I was totally broken. I felt like the blood had just drained out of my body because, again, this was my husband. I trusted him fully. He was supposed to help me protect these children. He always told me he was my protector. So when I heard this, I just felt like my world had just ended.
She took her first drink in 20 years, and according to prosecutors, texted her business partner, "I'm going to kill him and then myself." She drove to the hotel and angrily confronted him.
I snapped. I'm not a violent person.
Tomorrow night, Shanteari Weems takes us through the shooting. What was she thinking?
The first shot was in the neck,
Yes,
and then you shot him in the leg.
yes.
How could she open fire on her own husband, the man she had loved and trusted more than anyone? At the D.C. Department of Corrections, Bruce LaShan, WUSA 9.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
It's so funny. Licorice said, "Okay, Bob, at the situation, okay," because she went to the leg. It's like, well, you move it to the center. Those of y'all who know who Lorena Bobbitt is, you already know. Put a 1 in the chat if you know who she is. Put a 2 in the chat if you have no clue. I'll elaborate if there are enough 2s, but I'll move forward. Listen, when I tell you the streets have this woman's back, the streets literally have this woman's back. I'll show you this tweet that I tweeted earlier today. It was literally 6:16 in the morning that I tweeted this, and 329 people liked it. There were 58 quote tweets and 77 retweets. Without the shadow of a doubt, everyone's saying free her, free her. I remember this story. She most definitely did. Free her. You know, why ain't nobody hollering free her? Y'all are weird. She did the right thing. Everybody feels like she did the right thing, myself included. It's me. I'm everybody. Because the system doesn't really handle and penalize people who take advantage of children the right way. So I see a couple of 2s in the chat, and shout out to you. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let's see a lot of people. I see a couple of 2s. So Lorena Bobbitt was a woman who went viral before viral was even a thing, right? And what happened was she literally cut her husband's ding dong off, like cut it off and threw it out the window. And so the police get there and they're looking for his thing, and they find his thing like in the bushes on the side of the house. And they recover it so that they can try to sew it back on. What did that man do to make that woman that mad that she actually cut his thingy thing off? Baby, go ask her. Okay. But she shot him around the shoulder and neck. You know, Shireen shot him around the shoulder, neck, then got to the leg. You know, if you want to be doing things like this to kids, you do deserve to be castrated. At the very least, they need to cut your balls off. I feel like we need to bring things like that back. It might seem crazy and outlandish and cruel and unusual, but when you start putting children at risk, people who haven't even lived life yet, yeah. They need some extreme things to take place when it comes to you. Okay. And those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts and my thoughts only. But I do want to hear what you all think about it down below. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you how you can put money on her books. That's where we are with it now. So I was able to locate her inmate number. And so through me locating her inmate number, okay, let me put this on the screen. I'm going to walk y'all through this. And then after this video is done, maybe sometime tomorrow, I'll make it a lot more simple. I'll update the description box. I'll pin it to the top of the comments. But right now, I'm just focused on showing you how to do it because I was actually able to figure out how to do so. So you go to this website, and this website is vinelink.com, literally VINELINK.com. Right. And matter of fact, this isn't even a website that you need to go to. This is the website where I'm just going to verify what her inmate number is to show you all how to get to her. Her inmate number is 381867. We're going to put that in. We're going to scroll down and click I'm not a robot and search. And you can see her name pops up right here, right? Shanteari Weems. She's 50 years old. So this is just to let you know that this is the correct inmate number. Now, if you want to send her funds, all right? If you want to send her funds, you want to go to, and I'm going to type it in as we speak, doc.dc.gov. Okay? doc.dc.gov, right? Because there are a lot of people who want to put money in her books, and I don't blame y'all, and I'm finna put some money on her books, okay? I would have did it before this video started, but I just didn't have enough time. There are a couple of different ways that you can do it. You want to scroll down when you get to this website, and you want to click on Automated Inmate Deposits. You click on that, okay? And you scroll down, and there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do Western Union, you can do it over the phone, or you can do walk-in cash payments. Obviously, everybody is in NDC, so you can do the over the phone method with this website, or you can take a screenshot or go to the website yourself, or you can click on Western Union. Okay, when you click on Western Union, when you click on, oh snap, hold on the wrong page. Click on Western Union. Wait a minute. Why? Oh, it keeps open. It opens up a new page. I'm like, why is it not updating on the screen? It opens a new tab. Okay, it opens a new tab. This is the new tab. Okay. You scroll down. You select the correctional facility, and you want to select. What is it? What is it? DC DOC, District of Columbia DOC. So you want to click DC DOC. You select your amount. You put the inmate's first name, Shanteari, middle name, skip that, Weems is the last name. And again, her inmate number is 381867. Let's just say I put an amount in here just to move forward to the next screen, just so that you know that this is an option and it's something you can do if you want to put money on her books. Okay. There were people sending her letters, but she's been transferred to a different facility, I found. But let's just say you wanted to send her $20. Put her first name, her last name, her inmate number in. You hit continue. And now it's going to start asking you for payment information. Okay, so this is how you can send money to her. Again, let me make a quick banner and put it on the screen. Okay, because I know a lot of people are interested in sending her money because look, all heroes do not wear capes. All heroes do not wear capes. doc.dc.gov is the website. And let me take it a step further and put the inmate number. Inmate number is going to be 381867. All right, and I'll put that on the screen so y'all can see it. Screenshot this. Go to this website. Remember how her name is spelled. But even if you don't, I feel like maybe the inmate number may be enough, but I've spelled it correctly here, as you saw on the Vine website. And that's how you can do what it do. Okay, so if you want to donate to this woman who is really about protecting children and infuriated at whoever disrespects children and violates children, even if it's her own husband, this is the way you support her and put money on her books. Shout outs to her. Okay. Jamal Johnson says, this is Jane I fell in love with. You read my mind with these issues on the whole. P rings all over the world, and these things are interconnected oftentimes to laws. Exactly. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your ongoing support. That really means a lot to me. So yeah, doc.dc.gov is how you can put money on her books if there's something you wish to do, because she is definitely a hero. Okay. So I had to let you all know about that tidbit of information and walk y'all through the process because you know I was going to figure it out. Okay. Shout out to Libertude. I know I catch you always in the comments, but you rarely catch a live. And it's nice to see you catching the live. Okay. Hey, Jane, I made it to a live. We ordered Chinese. That sounds good. I might get me some Chinese food tomorrow. Okay. We got $100 super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Y'all gonna make me wanna celebrate a little bit. Okay. Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to y'all. All right. I do appreciate the way y'all support the show. Y'all really showed out the day before yesterday when I did 3. What did I do? I did 3 lives in a row on Wednesday. And I mean, like, y'all showed me so much love, and that means so much. Thank y'all so much. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get into the Robert remix. Shout out to, let me see. I see her in the chat right now. Shout out to Princess. She let the Discord know that today is the 4th anniversary of R. Kelly's interview with Gayle King. And so with all of that being said, okay, let's go ahead and get into our R. Kelly, R. Kelly song. Okay, let's get it.
Baltimore, I can't see you. Where you at?
Yo, telling me with this. I can't help here.
Robert.
I'm real. You're killing me, man. This ain't not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Man, y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with killing me, man. Trying to kill me. Killing me, man. Trying to kill me. You don't want to believe it. Trying to kill me. Killing me, man. Trying to kill me. I hope this camera keep going. Stupid R. Kelly. Fight for my life. Stupid R. Kelly. Do it. Stupid R. Kelly. Fight for my life. Stupid R. Kelly. Do it.
Someone said, well, he and the Beehive did put you on the map. Might as well pay homage. Okay. Princess said, I'm fighting for my effing life. That's one of my favorite parts. But also another one of my favorite parts is when he said, they said, I hog tie people. I don't know how to hog tie nobody. I said, Robert, shut up. Yes, you do. You know how to hog tie people. God damn it. Robert know damn well he know how to hog tie people. Stop playing with me. Okay? Stop it, Robert. Robert. Stop it. Now, I do want to get into some other updates, but I need to make y'all laugh real quick. Are y'all ready? This really, it. So I've expressed on my channel a couple of times how I feel like my upbringing and the emotional neglect and just like, yeah. I feel like sometimes I didn't have the best upbringing. I wouldn't say it's the worst. No, I wouldn't. Right. But I feel like but when I look at this video, I'm like, you know what? My parents ain't that bad. On today's episode of What the Hell is Wrong with Y'all? I'm going to show y'all some of these hellbilly blues. I can't even believe that these people are raising children. Okay? I can't even believe, I really can't believe that they're raising children. But we're going to take a look. Make sure y'all hit thumbs up. If you're looking to support the show, make sure you just hit thumbs up on the video. It's free 99 as hell. But also you can send a cash app. It's right here on the screen. Okay. If you don't have, $2, $5, $10, whatever you have in your heart to share, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's another free way to support the show. And you could also share. Let's get into these hillbilly blues and let us together take a look at two people who shouldn't be raising a child.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
You okay?
No, I'm not.
He not giving you your baby?
No. No. And she's more attached to me than him. And I'll tell you this. I have not once fucking cheated. I do not talk to the neighbors. I barely know you.
He jealous. He's sprung on you. Is your pussy good?
No. I haven't fucked him in months. Because I'm tired of this shit saying I'm cheating. I'm gone for good. See you in court over Bella.
Well, that's how you always are. You don't give a fuck about your kid. You give a fuck about dick.
Excuse me? What? What just happened? Why are they raising a kid and poor baby Bella? That's what I want to know. Shit. First of all, for me, it's the black woman already being prepared with the camera. You okay? He not giving you your baby. It was her little gasp for me. She said,
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
You okay?
No, I'm not.
He not giving you your baby?
No.
This black woman know what she doing. She knows she said, fake surprise. You okay? No. No, I'm not. It's the hillbilly blues for me, baby.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
You okay?
No, I'm not.
He not giving you your baby?
No. And she's more attached to me than him. And I'll tell you this. I have not once fucking cheated. I do not talk to the neighbors. I barely know you.
So she a neighbor.
He jealous. He's sprung on you.
Now he jealous. He following you. Now, it's her adding fuel to this hillbilly fire for me, baby. It just cracks me up. This video been going around for years. I can't even. I've been seeing it like over the last 3 years. I see this video every time it pops up on my timeline. I lied to you not. I cackle. A little tear comes to my eye, and I'll be like, my parents weren't that bad. They weren't that bad. Like, and I do, when I get in there with my therapist and she see the way she be like, "Woo, you went through," I went through some things with my parents, but they wasn't that bad. Like my parents wasn't that bad. Woo!
Is your pussy good?
No. I haven't fucked him in months.
What?
I'm tired of this shit saying I'm cheating. I'm gone for good. See you in court over Bella.
Well, that's how you always are. You don't give a fuck about your kid. You give a fuck about dick.
And so it's me wanting to be a fly on the wall in court over Bella. I want to know what's going on. This is today's episode of What the Hell is Wrong with Y'all? Okay? I had to jump into it, because sometimes the representation be black people are ghetto, they're ratchet, they live in the hoods, they don't. Did you see it? Did you? Okay. Poor Bella, baby. Bella, I'm praying for you, girl. Bella, you ain't really got much of a fighting chance. You don't. But, all right. Moving on. Let's move on to the next story, baby. Because, oh, my goodness. Bella. All right. Now, real quick, I hope y'all are feeling all right. I hope that your mental health and your invisible problems are intact. Shout out to the new subscribers. We reached 28K. Thank y'all. Thank everybody that subscribed. Shout out to everybody in the Discord that said thank you. I couldn't respond to everybody, but before I get into breaking down today's topics and viral events, make sure you subscribe and thumbs up or down. Either way, I appreciate it. All right. But be sure to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. Now, I have another update coming to pertaining to a story that I covered in the past. And this was the 6-year-old who shot his teacher. This was the 6-year-old who literally shot his teacher. Okay, this is a very unfortunate situation. I've been following the story. I did a thorough almost an hour-long video on it when it first transpired a while ago. This happened in Virginia. It happened in Newport News, Virginia, to be specific. And I had a lot of people reach out to me who live in that area who said, listen, Newport News, we deal with a lot of crime. And so on and so forth. So there has been an update. Could you imagine being a teacher and your first grade student decides that they're coming out of pocket with a firearm and they shoot you because they have extreme and severe behavioral issues that haven't quite been addressed by the school properly, let alone by the home properly, right? So let me give you a little bit of background on the child and then I'll get into the update, right? This was about January 6th. I think it was around January 6th. This story happened and I covered it. And I said, like, January 6th is equated with just craziness, right? Because we remember what happened with Trump's people, right? This is a child that had behavioral issues and should have been expelled, is my stance on the situation. The child had choked a teacher until the teacher couldn't breathe. The child had barricaded a teacher in the whole class into a classroom to the point where the teacher had to bang on the door until the neighboring teacher had to let them out of the room. This was a child who was bullying other kids via whipping them with a belt. This was a child who 2 days before he shot the teacher had took that very same teacher's phone, slammed it down, shattered it, and broke it. She had to get a new one. And then we get to, and there's much more outside of that, right? And then we get to the day of the shooting, in which a student and someone else had alerted the school, hey, he's got a gun. They were out at, or a firearm, should I say, and they were out during recess, and he pulls it out and says, hey, look, I got a weapon. If you say anything, I'm gonna use it on you. So they had gotten tips. This school had gotten tips that there's a weapon in the building. They did some little janky search. They checked the boy, right? They checked his person. They checked his locker. They didn't find anything. And they kept going on about the school day. Well, later on, he pulls it out and he shoots the teacher. What type of 6-year-old can outsmart an entire learning institution and shoot a teacher? First of all, when you're notified by more than one source or even one that there is a firearm in the building, and we talk about an elementary school, but stop underestimating these children because we see where it can get us, right? You're supposed to call the police and let them do the thorough search. Let the police search the building. The building should have been on lockdown. Everybody should have been evacuated, and they should have searched every inch of that school. And this is the reason why the surrounding neighborhood, the police station, they said, hey, we were never made known. We were never aware of a weapon being at a school, elementary school, anything. The police department made it a fact to clear their name because they knew that had it gotten out, that they had gotten a tip that there was a weapon and they weren't dispatched, they didn't come out, that they would be in hot water. And this presumably, right, it leads me to believe that your protocol, when you're alerted that there's a weapon in the building, what type of training is regular school administration put under that they can sufficiently search for a gun and eliminate the probability of a firearm that can harm the staff or the students? What training are there? How do they even know how to do that? They don't. This is why they should have called the police, but they didn't. Not to mention, this child should have been expelled. This child consistently put staff and students at risk with rambunctious behavior. Here's the last thing I'll tell you before we get into the update is the behavior of this 6-year-old boy got so out of line that the parents, one or the other, were ordered to stay with the child through the entire school day. At that point, you might as well homeschool. The parents were mandated to come up to the school and sit with the child in every class and accompany them and walk them to every class. It stopped for whatever reason. We don't know why it stopped. Did y'all say the parents only needed to be present for a month, a week? What was it? It stopped the week before he shot that teacher. The bullet went through the teacher's hand and through the teacher's chest. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital. And so basically what's coming out now, and the update is the 6-year-old will not be charged. And I was telling you that he more than likely wouldn't be charged because a child 7 and under doesn't understand criminal intent. This is what the law is, at least in Virginia. And so the intention of the prosecutors in Virginia responsible or overseeing this case is now they're looking at who to charge based off of who and how could this have been prevented. I say it's both the home, because this was a weapon that was registered to the child's mom, right? I say it's both the staff and the mom, right? I feel like they both need to be catching charges because it's even well documented, this child's behavioral issues. And the handful of things that I've told you about are really just the tip of the icebergs of the issues that he was causing. And so what they've said is, you know, a 6-year-old taking the stand is pretty problematic because they don't quite understand the gravity of the charges, exactly what's happening. But now they're trying to establish if the parents and or if the school administration had any reckless or negligence that contributed to this catastrophe at this school in Virginia. I really want to know from you all, and I'm curious to know if this child is going to continue to grow and continue to have criminal behavior. Because for you to see so much, for you to know how to sneak your mom's weapon out the house, how to point it, how to shoot it, the accuracy. He didn't shoot the chalkboard. He didn't shoot in summer. He was able to shoot. Like, what the is his media intake? What is he watching and absorbing when he is at home that he was able to know how to do all this? The school searched for the weapon and found it. Nonetheless, they're looking for reckless and negligence pertaining to the intentions of and really anybody who could have prevented this from happening. And I do feel like there is some fault that lies on the school and also on the household in which this firearm was snuck out of. This is a really unfortunate situation. It's a bizarre situation. I do feel like if we had to put the blame on a scale, I feel like 60% of it belongs to the household at the parents and 40% belongs to the school. You have a duty to protect your children and the staff and the teachers when people are at schools. Why was he allowed to beat children with a belt? Choke a teacher until the teacher couldn't breathe, barricade a teacher and the rest of the class into a classroom, and y'all didn't think to expel him not once? Y'all were complicit with this behavior. I don't know why you were so hesitant to not expel him and recommend some homeschooling. Let the parents deal with that problematic shit all day. Y'all failed to protect your teachers and you failed to protect those students. Thank God it wasn't another 6 or 5 or 7-year-old that got shot at the hands of that menace who brought that weapon to school. I think they're both at fault. That's just me, but I pass the question off to you. Where do you land with this and who do you think should be to blame? Comment down below, whether you're live on the video or if you're chasing a bus watching the replay. That's an update that I definitely had to give you all. Sickening. Okay? And if you work in the school system, I definitely want you to sound off down below in the comments. Someone says, how big is this child? We don't know. They're keeping the identity withheld. We don't know how big this child is. That's that. Okay. They say he's receiving intensive treatment, and all of this other stuff, but it's a mess. All right. So I have another update to a story that I've been covering. I've been covering a story. Let me get off of this thumbnail here. So another story that I covered a while ago was a Black woman, and I believe it was Wisconsin, and she went to a dealership, and I'm calling the dealership Rinky Dink because I can't believe that they were this angry that this woman didn't purchase a car that was less than $5,000, as if the payout was going to be enormous. Like, nothing excuses what happened. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me just show you the video. I'll give you the backstory, and then we'll get into the update. And again, make sure y'all hit thumbs up on this video if you haven't already.
That's what happens. Just trying to see what else was gonna happen. What happened? Think you want to say stupid shit to us? Right here on the bumper, on the bumper.
Bye, guys.
On your wrist, plain Jane.
So they urinated on her ID because she came back and she explained it, and I've covered it. Go back and watch the previous videos if you haven't. I don't want to get into the whole thing. But essentially, she came back from the test drive. You needed to leave your ID for the test drive. She accidentally left her ID. And she had some questions about the vehicle that they kind of like were blowing her off. They didn't quite want to answer her questions. They were just kind of like giving her this like blah treatment. And it's important that you understand the Carfax, what this car has been through, what it can do, what it can't do, its history, so on and so forth, right? And it just seemed that they didn't want to answer her questions. So this is what they did, and they decided to put it on social media. And this is a town/state that a lot of people have said, listen, very prejudiced, very racist. They do things like this quite frequently. And so for these racists to sit here and put her ID out, her name, her address, where she sleeps, her family, other racists now have this information to harass her as well. Not to mention, you literally peed on her ID, and she was contacting him and saying, hey, how can I get my ID back? And he was also blowing her off. At this point, she doesn't even want her ID back. But when she was emailing him about getting the ID back, she didn't know that he had done this to her ID. Not only that, he bended it in half. It was just a mess. Here's the good part about this story. This is a used car dealership that actually had a name similar to a competitor nearby. And what happened was this dealership had caught a decent amount of heat because people were mistaking one dealership for the other. And so what this dealership did was they gave her a free car. And I think that that's amazing. It gives them good press. It shows that they are great people, this nearby dealership. And it really just, it really shits. It defecates. See, they peed on her ID. This competing dealership shitted on them. And they're going viral because they did the right thing and treated this Black woman correctly, where these two people went wrong. And I walked you through what the police ended up saying to her, and what the police put out as their official statement. And basically, when the police put out a statement, they said, listen, y'all don't need to be sending no hate to the guy that did this. Like, hate towards them will not be tolerated. Like, the nerve of you to protect and have this no tolerance for hatred towards the pisser, but not towards a woman whose ID was urinated on. Really interesting. If you haven't seen it, get caught up on the previous videos. But this is a follow-up to that video, and I think that it's amazing that transpired. Okay, so let's get into the next story, in which this one won't take long, baby. So all of us are familiar with the Americans who were kidnapped at the border. It was 4, but today we had like a 5th one come out. Strange story all around. A lot of stuff is not making sense. However, baby, now they're trying to call them the tummy tuck 4. Did y'all just get like carried away with the Cabo 6 like labeling? Did y'all get, because nigga, like we had 2 black people die, and y'all talk about the tummy tuck 4. All of them wasn't getting tummy tucks. What are y'all talking about? And we talking about big publications, baby. We're not talking about just no YouTube behavior. The tummy tuck. This is the Daily Mail. The tummy tuck 4. The tummy tuck 4. Like what's going on? Oh, I see something going on in the chat. Stacy, you want to sit here and play dumb? Do you know about Kenosha, Wisconsin? Do you understand the racial climate in that area? Do you think that white man would have peed on another white woman's ID who left it sitting there at the dealership? If you want to come here and play oblivious and be intentionally obtuse, baby, go ahead and do so. Run my engagement up. Continue. But don't play dumb, because that's what your grandfather do. And you know you're a professional at running defense to racist acts. Don't play dumb. This is white supremacist behavior. Thank you, Tulsa. So, the tummy tuck 4. What is going on? Like, why would you even call them the tummy tuck 4? Like, for why? You know what? The media be playing games sometimes. Like, this ain't the time to joke and play. Now, don't get me wrong. I do feel like this story is convoluted and we're not being fed all of the information. All right. Stacy said, I don't know if he would or would not, but what's the racial intent? I've already explained it. If you want to, if you want to skip over what I just said, do you know anybody from Kenosha, Wisconsin? Because everybody from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and most of the people in Wisconsin who are of color will tell you how heightened the racial tension is. So again, keep playing dumb and keep running my engagement up. Keep doing it. It's cool. So yeah, I feel like the tummy tuck 4 is a bit wild. Okay. Shout out to Shay for rejoining the membership. All right. The Daily Mail is a very racist UK publication. They are, oh, okay. Thank you, Tarian. I didn't know that. So yeah, I just find it weird. I feel like we still need to just keep saying the 4 kidnapped Americans instead of saying, and honestly, here's my thing. I saw this before anybody was talking about it. My finger will be on the pulse all the time. That's why I wish I was doing YouTube full time right now. And I have the ability. I'm scared to take the leap. And I also want to get some dental work done with my insurance benefits and some other medical stuff done before I quit. But when I first saw it, I literally tweeted about it a day before everybody started talking about it. I'm like, I hope that this whole situation in Mexico, I hope that it reminds people of Shanquella. I hope that, because we're talking about Americans, Mexico, the dangers. How do we hold the Mexicans accountable, or the people in Mexico accountable for the travesty that has happened to these Americans? Americans still crossing the border and going over to Mexico as if they're safe, like Shanteari didn't teach them anything. And here we go with this second situation. So that was honestly my first thought. That was before any pictures were put out of the victims. That was before any fatalities were put out about the victims. It was super early. So I'm still hoping that Shanteari can get justice. I'm hoping that these folks can get justice. And I'm hoping that, because I feel like these 4 kidnapped Americans is a bit more high profile than Shanteari, because you got the cartel involved. And listen. We got the cartel involved. And we have to understand that, and this is just what I'm hearing, right, from people in Mexico. People in Mexico have been saying some things about the way the cartel operates, the importance of the cartel. I'm not in Mexico, so I don't know. I'm not here to refute it, but I will tell you what some of the native Mexicans are, or should I say residents of Mexico, are saying, rather, because everybody that's a resident of Mexico isn't necessarily Mexican, right? But they're saying that the Mexican cartel isn't as bad as Americans make them out to be. And so they're saying that they actually protect the community from a variety of different predators. They also say that removing the cartel may collapse Mexico's economy, because there's a lot of money within, the cartel and what they have going on. And so I will say, it does seem like a classy cartel. It seems like a classy cartel, because y'all are like, wait a minute, they sent an apology note. We don't want to have anything to do with this. We're going to hand them over because this ain't what we stand for. Like, not a whole drug, or what is, like, the whole thing is bizarre. And then there was like a 5th person that came out today. So it's definitely a larger than life story. It was a story that was definitely larger than life. It is, not even was, because that's past tense. It's still it's strange. And that's why I decided not to report on it, because it's just too much. You've got misinformation, and I feel like there are things, everything that's being presented is not everything that's going on. And it seems like it's a lot that's not clean in the buttermilk. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Want to get too much, into it like that. But yeah, it just doesn't seem okay. Shout out to Bonnie B for joining the membership. I appreciate you. Don't forget to check the members only community tab for your perks, and to unlock all of the different members only videos and lives that we do backstage. There are even edited videos backstage to help you become a better YouTuber. But Tulsa says, Jane, Shanteari's story was a warning of destruction coming to us. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have been, but I feel like at the very least, if Shanteari didn't teach us anything, is that if you go over there and something happens to you, it is not going to be easy to get justice, because it's a totally different jurisdiction. And I just felt like a lot of us were going to chill, Black folk especially, not even just Americans, Black folk were going to chill on going over there, because the likelihood of you getting justice, if and when something happens, is little to none. And here we have those crimes committed on camera. Shanteari's brutal beating was captured on camera, and still we can't figure out a way to hold these people accountable. But, yeah. It's a really sad situation. It's a really sad situation. It really, really, really is. So, let's get into our next story. We got into a great amount of updates on 3 different stories. The woman who shot her husband, I gave you the information on how to put money on her books right here in Maryland, because he's a creep. He's a pedo. The 6-year-old who shot his teacher in Virginia, I gave you an update on that story. The Black woman who had her ID unfortunately urinated on, gave you the update on that. We got into the tummy tuck 4. Now it's time to get into the meat and bones, the meat and gravy of the situation. Okay. Let me see. 260 people here, 170 thumbs up. It's not enough. Do I have to get tired of it because y'all out? Like, don't make me get tired.
But you're not. Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. You go to bed at night, you lay there, and you take responsibility for yourself.
Y'all stop playing on that thumbs up button. It's free. I ain't asking y'all to send no money to the Cash App, although if you do, it'll be appreciated. I'll give you a shout out. But dang, come on now, hit the thumbs up button. Okay? Now, let's talk about MoNique and Daddy. MoNique and Daddy are back in the news. And I want to talk about it. Y'all know I talk about MoNique. I talk about MoNique a lot. She's from Baltimore. She definitely got that Baltimore spirit. She's not backing down from any situation that people feel like you just need to be quiet about that. No, I'm gonna talk about it. That's MoNique, and that's in Baltimore. You know, it could be true about other people too, but I've been in Baltimore my whole life, born and raised here, right? So let's talk about MoNique and Daddy. So MoNique says, and you know when MoNique would talk, she had a podcast with her husband Sidney here. It was called MoNique and Sidney's Open Relationship. And so, okay, an open relationship is exactly what we know it as. Y'all have people, you know, come and go based off of the way that who y'all agree. You can't just be getting with anybody. You got to agree that it's okay and let your partner know and have that like transparency. That's what really defines an open relationship. I know when I went to go see MoNique at the Comedy Factory downtown here in Baltimore, she said that she was like into women sometimes. Like she liked to, you know, do some carpet munching sometimes. But in particular to this story, let's get into the narrative and how she's closing her open relationship with Daddy. I think that this is an interesting story. Let's get into the narrative before I share my thoughts about it. Okay, so let's chat. Get into this narrative. It's obviously no secret that they have an open relationship. At one point, the two of them admitted to sharing each other with other people, but MoNique actually recently spoke out to People magazine, right? And she says her open relationship days are over. Or should I say, open marriage days are over, she says. MoNique says, quote, life began to happen. I began to see his strength I had never seen before. He loved me at my worst. I didn't want to sacrifice that just for a lay. So I grew out of that, end quote. Now, MoNique says that people didn't understand what she meant by open marriage. And she says, quote, they thought it was about swinging and orgies. And then there were individuals who were vehement about God and they were bringing God into our opinions. People lost their minds and the criticism has never let up, end quote. So MoNique says it was her idea to close her marriage, okay? It was her idea to say, okay, let's shut the door. This ain't no open marriage no more. But her husband was the one who ended up showing her that he could have his fun too, okay? In other words, she wanted to deal with different people, but her husband hadn't really participated much in that. And he finally decided he was finna open the door and go out of it as well. She says, quote, Sidney had this one thing he had to teach me, and that was reciprocity. If you can have that, it's only fair that I can have that too. I wanted to continue to see the gentleman that I was seeing, and I felt comfortable telling my best friend, who was my husband, Sidney. I'm grateful that he taught me how to play fair, end quote. And my whole thing is like, girl, it's an open marriage. You thought the door was only open for you and it was closed for him? I mean, it's interesting she was able to get away with it for as long as she has. But I'm like, you really needed this man to book and schedule a date with somebody else. A date that might have been whatever. It could have just been drinks, could have been dinner and a little bit of sucky. But you needed him to step out in order for you to understand, oh, he can do this too, and I don't want that. Let's close the door so it can just be me and you. Like, I mean, he's got a different level of patience, you know. I think he gets a bundle of benefits also from being with her and being her. I wouldn't say he's her manager, but they are definitely a team when it comes to what it is that she gives entertainment wise and brokering deals and different things of that nature. But you know what I realized is, because why is MoNique telling us that? That's because she had the money. Exactly. That's what I thought too. But I'm like, why is she telling us this? Is she oversharing? Are open relationships or open marriages normal? I mean, just ask Will and Jada, baby. I mean, you know, do I know of a couple of swingers? Yeah. A lot of times it ends in confusion. But for rich people, they have like different things that they do. And that's why I bring up like Will and Jada. It's been well known that there's a different level of understanding when you have a certain amount of money, different obligations when you're not always around, and you feel like, you know what, I have enough money that, you know what, I'm gonna go on this date, I'm gonna get this little eggplant, and he feels like, well, I'm gonna go on this date and I'm gonna get this little, I'm gonna penetrate this little kitty. And I feel like that's easier to accept when you have a different quality of life. But for broke regular people, a lot of times it doesn't end that way. It just doesn't go that way. And when I first came across this piece of information, I was like, is she oversharing? But honestly, I don't feel like she is. I feel like she's giving information that she had already offered. They named a whole podcast, YouTube channel, whatever. MoNique and Sidney's open relationship, which honestly, it wasn't a podcast, although I think that that's what they classified it as. It was just the name of how they went live for an hour at a time every now and then, right? But they coined themselves that way. So I feel like she's closing the chapter to number one, cut off applications. We said we was an open relationship, but guess what, ladies? Stop sending in your applications because I'm keeping Zaddy all to me now. Zaddy. I'm keeping Zaddy all to me now. Okay, that's what's going on. I feel like she wanted to cut it off, and I feel like because she had already shared that, has she not let us know that it was closed? And has she just closed it without telling anybody, with everybody knowing that it was open? I feel like that might have produced some problems in their relationship. If you had already shared with people that you have an open relationship, which keeps the applications flowing in, right? For MoNique, men and women, right? Because I told you I went to her comedy show and she said she had a hard time coming out to her family, letting them know that every now and then she likes to lay with a woman every now and then, she said. So, you know, with you putting this out and applications coming in because you have an open marriage, you want to shut them down at one point or another. So I don't feel like it's oversharing. I feel like it's just closing the chapter and something that you made public, right? And so you can see I tweeted this the other day. What was this? March 9th. What's today? Today is the 11th. Okay. I was about to say shout out to Outback for sending me a cash app, but they just finalized my total. Oh, shout out to Tiffany for sending the $10. Thank you. Okay. Shout out to you, Tiffany. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So you can see I tweeted this the other day. I said MoNique and Sidney done closed their relationship, child. She keeping Daddy all to herself now. God damn. You know, I don't feel like it's oversharing, but I do feel like MoNique is on she's on an apology. She's on a media tour, should I say. She's on a media tour, in my opinion, because here's the other thing that she ended up saying. She ended up saying, it was literally like 16 to 20 hours after the closed relationship thing happened. MoNique reveals why she still wants a public apology from Oprah Winfrey. Look at the date. Look at the date. It's all, you can see it all over social media now. MoNique is still waiting. And I'm like, oh, come on. You just out of nowhere decided to dig this back up. I feel like this could be a way of her trying to get more eyes to, what's that movie that just came out on BET Plus? It was good in my opinion. Why did it just escape me? The Reading. It's either this is promo for The Reading, or maybe she has like another project coming up and she's just trying to like stay relevant for whatever reason. Because like to just sit up and be like, you know what? Oprah ain't apologized 10 years ago. And I don't got no controversy going on right now. You know, I could see her bringing it up in her typical spiel of, I just got slighted by this company yesterday. And let me tell you what I've been through and why it's so important for me to speak up. Speak up, my sweet babies. It's because Netflix did this to me, and Spike Lee, and Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels, and Lionsgate, and Oprah. I could see her going through her spiel if she was just slighted in a new way. But she hasn't been. And so she like pops up out of nowhere and is like, and you know what? I closed my relationship and I'm still waiting on that Oprah apology. And a whole nother thing, like, God. Hey, I ain't hating the player. I'm hating the game. It sucks you got to do things like this to promote your, to promote your projects. But I get it. I get it. As a person who is in the entertainment industry, I totally understand the different things that you have to do in order to promote the things that are most important to you. I have to talk about celebrity mess and whatever the case is, just to get people, just to feed people Black news. I got to talk about messy subject, Black news, messy Black news, just to force. So I get it. I ain't hating the player. I ain't hating on MoNique for this. I'm hating the game. And it sucks that you have to do this. But, okay, does she deserve her apology? Absolutely. But to just like turn around out of nowhere 15 years or however long later and be like, and you know what? Now that I think about it, I still need my apology. It's like, damn, you know what? I still need an apology from what my mother did to me when I was 7 too. Let me. If you still waiting on Oprah to apologize, baby, please don't hold your breath. Let me tell you this. Does she need to apologize? Yes. Oprah was so foul for what she did to MoNique. And I ain't got enough time to get into it right now. Should Oprah apologize? Yes. But she ain't going to. She gave her little half-ass apology that wasn't really an apology. And I mean, like, here we are. Here we are today. Here we are today. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But honestly, shout out to MoNique. Shout out to her and what she did in The Reading. I can't wait to see MoNique in more films where we're able to see how dynamic she can be. If there's one thing that MoNique proved in, and I get it, psychological thrillers with comedy mixed into them, everybody's not going to find it to be funny, right? And that's subjective. But whether you found it funny or not, it definitely displayed MoNique's range. She has range from serious to funny to emotional, the cadence, the texture, the nuance. I'm sorry, MoNique did her thing. She did her thing in The Reading. And when I tell you it had me at the edge of my seat, oh, I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't already. We talked about it backstage. Keep in mind, if you join the membership and you watch the MoNique review thing that I did, please understand that I'm telling every detail about the movie. So there are spoilers in the video backstage if you check the members only playlist. But yeah, she definitely did her thing. Okay. She definitely did her thing. Okay. Tosa says she posted that on Women's Day. I believe it was a kind gesture. Okay. Mm-hmm. MoNique is a good actress. One thing about her, she gonna play a fucked up mom now. Ooh, she gonna play a fucked up mom. I saw the reading. I say, oh, not her playing a messed up mom again. Lord. Now, here's another thing we need to get into as we MoNique and Sidney's close relationship, baby. Not MoNique just realizing 1 + 1 = 2. Sidney said, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. But Sidney said, well, I'm going to go out with some women too. Or some. We're going to move on. But did you get what I'm saying? Did Sidney go out with women that made MoNique feel like, you know what, I don't want to share? Or did he go out with moving right along? Moving on swiftly and professionally. Okay. Danae Jackson. Is she okay? Because it seems like she might have lost it a little bit. I want to know what y'all think about it. So I was just casually perusing the Instagram, and I saw Danae had posted this little thing. And let's take a look. And if you don't know who Danae Jackson is, this is the soon-to-be ex-wife of Derek Jackson, because they have announced, or at least Derek announced, the fact that they're getting divorced because Derek, he just can't let up on them thoughts, okay? He can't let up on those, on the IG baddie aesthetic, and Danae Jackson doesn't have the IG baddie aesthetic. Although I must admit, Danae Jackson, she is an attractive woman. There's nothing ugly, outwardly ugly about her, okay? Sometimes her behavior and stuff can have you scratching your head, but, you know. Let's take a look. So, I have this dramatic music in here because he had this copyrighted song playing the entire time. But, okay, so you see she's reading her Bible. She's got this Bible verse up here. You can see Derek Jackson on the was on the computer screen. Now she says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your strength, Deuteronomy. And she's singing, she's on this journey. She's waking up, and oh, here's her Bible just conveniently located here. Don't break her pages. She didn't sleep on the Bible. And now she's writing to Jesus. I hate his stinking guts. Did y'all see that? Hold on, because that's an ode to the Little Rascals. Hold on, I'm going to pause it. Look, dear Holy Spirit, I hate his stinking guts. Do y'all remember the Little Rascals? Okay, let me just tell y'all real quick. It's one of my favorite movies. What did he say? What was his name? Alfalfa. Alfalfa. Well, Darla had wrote this letter to Alfalfa. No, Alfalfa wrote it to Darla. Alfalfa said, dear Darla, I hate your stinking guts. You make me vomit. You're a scum between my toes. Love, Alfalfa. I said, oh, when did these first graders learn to get down like this? This is crazy. And then they read Darla the letter, and she clenched on the soda can. She said, a mess. So, okay, I get the ode to the Little Rascals, but Danae Jackson, you a little bit. Are you too old for the first grade? Okay. All right. To-do list: Father, Son, Holy Spirit, kids, ministry, business, friends, family, entertainment. Okay, Danae. Okay. All right. I am Christ. There she go praying. The Bible. Okay. Okay. Now we about to get to the part. It's the part. Brace yourself. Brace yourself real quick. Did y'all see that? So you see this wedding picture of her and Derek, right? This is on the front of that. I think they released like a book or something like that. And she's holding it up and she is just scrolling. Like I said, it's copyrighted music. That's why you got the look. I just couldn't imagine putting that online. I can imagine doing that. Absolutely. When a man done took you through some things and blah, 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 blah. But she uploaded this. You know, is she okay? Do her peoples need to check on her? What's going on? Okay, so this is what's going on. And then here we go, you know. The Lord is supposed to come hard and he saves those who are crushed in spirit. Okay? So I do think she needs therapy, right? We're just gonna go to the bush for her really quickly. She needs a little bit of bushation. Just a little bit of bushation.
It was gone. Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
Someone in the comments said, is this a Tubi movie? You know what? You are not right. You are not right. It does get Tubi movie a little bit. I'm not even gonna hold you. Not even gonna hold you. But stop it. Stop it. Okay? Just cut it out. Okay?
Won't you be quiet? Please.
Someone said that's method acting. I mean, you know, I don't know. It's definitely something. So we have a couple of different things coming up. We need to talk about Kaepernick. Kaepernick gave this information about his adoptive parents, and we need to discuss. We don't need to discuss. Let's get into that. Some people think that I was too hard on Chris Rock, and you know what? I might have been. The pink sauce lady is back at it again, and there's more Black news that we need to discuss. Keep it locked. Drop some pancakes in the chat, and we're going to be right back. I'm going to see if I can go find Leo, and we're going to be right back. I want to create... It's Pam. Pamela James.
Girl, you have got to tell me about your night last night.
Same mess. Time and time again.
What the fuck?
It's crazy, man. It's like women after women. Draws after draws, dog. GTD. Yeah.
You shouldn't give up so easily, Pam. Huh. You never know. You might find something that's forever. Like me and my Martin.
Like Martin?
You know what? I'm worried about her. I want to see her with someone special. She deserves that.
I'm the love doctor, Tommy. All right. Sometimes love is right where you never expect it. Sometimes love's in your face.
You know what, Pam? Search our whole lives looking for a friend. Soulmate.
But Tommy, we can't do this. We're friends.
But what if we came so much more?
We can't tell Martin and Gina about this.
Is something different?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Something is up. I know when my girl is hiding something from me.
Tommy, what are you doing here?
Came to bring you see.
I'm the happiest I've ever been.
I'm happy for you, Pam, but what about Cole?
Girl, so what? Everybody hates Cole.
I'm telling you better. Girl, he's not so bad. You gotta figure out a way to tell him. Everybody better beware. Girl, something is wrong.
Get out my face!
Get your ass up, Cole.
Do you even know if Tommy has a job? What does he do for a living? Why can't you ever tell me the truth, Tommy?
Look, Pam, you don't need to know everything.
Then I can't trust you. What are we doing?
Do you know how exhausting it is for everybody to see me as a joke? I'm sick of this shit.
I don't know what he's gonna do.
I don't know what he's gonna do, Pam.
Season 5. Tommy, what the fuck does this even mean?
We boys, right?
We always gonna be boys.
It's Pam. Pamela James.
And we're back. Okay. We are back. And your favorite co-host is here. I'm just waiting for him to jump up here again. Because he is a menace and he likes to run off with his payment without doing his work. So he'll be up here in a second. Now, what I want to do is we have a couple of different other topics that we need to get into. And Kaepernick is one of them. Okay. Here's y'all friend up here right now. All right. Leo, what you doing? Here. Look at the people in their face. Look at in their face. Look at. He said, "I don't even smell anything." Yes, I was faking you out. All right, that's the last one. Do you love us? Do you love the stickies? All right. That's it. Okay, maybe you'll get more if you stay to the end, baby. Maybe you'll get more. All right, come on, get down. Get down. Thank you. So nice. Okay, you listening today. What's that about? What's you being obedient about? I don't know. Okay. Leo, get down. Get down. It's not a thank you because it's not a question. Yes, he's very sassy with his Cuban link. Yes. That is him all the way through. Okay. So now we need to talk about we need to talk about our brother Kaepernick. Okay. Now Kaepernick has been we all know Kaepernick for what we know him as, right? He wanted to kneel. It seemed that the NFL, not even seemed like the NFL, they blackballed him, right? They blackballed him for whatever reason, right? And well, we know what the reason was, but let's move on. Okay. Ain't enough time in a day. And so here's the story. Here's what's going on with Kaepernick. He's speaking out about his adoptive parents, and he's accusing them of being problematic during his childhood. Now, if you've seen his documentary that came out, I think it was like on Netflix 2 or 3 years ago, you knew this. If you haven't seen it, then you don't know it. Everybody didn't watch it, right? Came out with this like publication talking about his life and things of that nature. Now, according to the Daily Mail, he claims that he went through some very problematic things after being adopted at 5 weeks old by Rick and Teresa Kaepernick. So they even gave him their last name to take on. During his interview with CBS, he said one of those things include telling him as a teenager that his cornrows, right, his straight backs were unprofessional. He says his adoptive mother told him that his braids made him look like a quote unquote little thug. Now, while he says he loves his parents, it wasn't until he grew older that he realized how problematic certain things were. And so his dad said previously that the only difference between he and his son is that Colin Kaepernick's skin is darker. So far, neither have commented on the recent interview. My thing is, number one, are we surprised? Are we surprised that, not are we surprised that white people raised him, but are we not surprised that white people would raise someone with, you know, ethnic hair and think that trying to put them in cornrows, straight backs, whatever, was like thuggish? Like, this is embedded into the DNA of racists, you know. And what really makes me tick is y'all wouldn't even have adopted him if his skin wasn't fair. Let's keep it above. If y'all think that plaits, right? If y'all think that cornrows make people look like thugs, you would have never adopted a dark-skinned child. Let's talk about it. If you think that a hairstyle makes someone look like a little thug, and you got this white passing man, whereas though if he had a Caesar or whatever the case is, he you know, he definitely passes the brown paper bag test. You would have never adopted a dark-skinned person. You know, my thing is this. What made Kaepernick come out? What provoked sharing this the other day, especially when, according to his Netflix special, it came out 2 to 3 years ago. Like, what provoked this? Is this a media tour? Are you coming out with something? Is there a book or a gig underway, a podcast? Like what provoked you to come? You know what? You had to have been known that, and it would have been better had you came out with it at the height of the NFL stuff when they were treating you some type of way. But like, what provoked this? I'm not surprised that he was raised by white people that thought that his hair made him look like a thug. If he wanted to do what we call it, a protective style on a man, whatever, just having your hair out when it's past a certain length, it can become annoying, but you still want to keep your hair. So you're going to put it in braids. You're going to put it in plaits. That's what black people do. You will put it in braids, plaits, locks, something, because ain't nobody trying to deal with it every day. Ain't nobody trying to deal with it every day. So if you think that the way black people keep their hair makes them look like a thug if they don't have a haircut, I mean, like, you clearly ain't for the people. Why did you even adopt a black child? Why? Because he was white passing. And you didn't think that he would grow up and his hair would be what it was and that he would want to keep it. You were thinking that maybe he would, you know, have some, you know, Bob Ross hair. And Bob Ross, here's the difference, right? Here's the difference. Black people grew up, especially black women, grew up to think that perm means I'm about to get my hair straight. My beady beads about to be straight. And really it's not. Perms are for white people who want more texture in their hair. Or I shouldn't say white people. I should say people who aren't ethnic or whatever, right? The real term is relaxer, right? So when white people get perms, it is to create a curl and a tighter curl and a permanent tight curl. So white people are actually the ones who, or European folks, are the ones who get perms. Black people get relaxers to relax. But see, things have just been switched over so much. Take your ass to Europe and ask for a perm if you want to. It ain't going to do what you think it's going to do, right? So they were thinking, let's get this white passing child, maybe his curl pattern hadn't came in yet. And they were thinking, you know, well, who'll get a perm? Maybe he maybe he'll get a perm, or maybe he'll get a relaxer. They had no clue his hair was going to turn into what it was and that he would like it and appreciate it. And then protect it like a typical Black person would. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick is very white passing, but look at his hair. Nothing wrong with his hair, but an afro on a white passing person, and then the color of the afro. It's not like a Bob Ross afro. Bob Ross's afro was manufactured because he got a perm in order to create it. He had straight hair. So I say all this to say, are we surprised? And what the hell made him wake up 2 days ago and say, you know what, my parents thought, when he had already said it 2 to 3 years ago? I'm honestly legitimately wondering if he's got a project coming out or a book or something. I want to know so that I can see what's going on. If not, it's just like, what be making y'all wake up and either rehash shit that y'all done already said, or, and this is no hate, because I mean, I'm glad he did what he did. I'm glad he took the stance that he took. But it just be like, sometimes I feel like celebrities, they get bored and they be like, what can I share? I'll share this problematic thing, and then boom. But it's like, what is there to follow? Because if it's leading up to something, then cool. The same thing with MoNique. She's on a tour. My open relationship is now closed. And I'm still waiting on my apology from Oprah. She went to, and I'm like, well, what's coming up that you just telling us this stuff all of a sudden? What's going on? Him or Nessa might be coming out with a book. I don't know. Bob Ross and his happy little tree. Did y'all know? I'm going to talk about this backstage. It's a documentary on Netflix about Bob Ross and baby. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all my tweet about it because Bob, I'm going to show y'all my tweet. Because I was watching a Netflix documentary and I was like, oh my gosh, not Bob Ross. So what was the date on this? February 16th. Okay, this is how much I be on Netflix. I said, Bob Ross was a cheetah child, not Mr. Happy Little Trees that taught me how to paint a forest. I was so shocked to learn that Bob Ross was a cheater, y'all. Like, I'm not even. It's me using my own meme for me. There's so many people that send me memes of when I make different faces on camera. And so not Bob Ross is a cheater. What? I was really taken aback. I'm on Netflix and he's having an affair with his manager or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, not Happy Little Trees. I thought he was all about peace and tranquility. Ain't nothing peaceful, you know what I'm saying, about an affair. Like what? Because I love Bob Ross, okay? Me first getting into painting, Bob Ross taught me a lot. You know, you prime your whole canvas with the white, and so it's wet. And then when you go in and do everything else, I said, oh my God, he a cheater. He's a liar, a cheater, a deceiver, heartbreaker, and I won't let him back in my life because I'm taking the house, the cars, the kids, and the dog. I want it all. You're nothing but Bob. How dare you? No, but they try to steal his fortune and all that other stuff. I highly recommend y'all check out Bob Ross's documentary on Netflix because his son is in it, and baby, they be spilling the should I say the syrup. It's a mess. It's definitely a big old mess. It's real bad. Okay, so moving on. Ciao. Bob Ross got me. Danae Jackson and Kaepernick. Okay, we got 2 more stories to get into. Okay. Now, they said it was paint wars and backstabbing. It absolutely was. It absolutely was. Yes, it was. Now, here I have another story. And this is a story that is on a segment that I really enjoy here on this show. Because y'all know we're on the Black News Bus. It's a social media stroll. We cover topics inside of the celebrity world, outside of the celebrity world, and everything in between. And there's always, of course, some Black excellence and some Black history. But sometimes these white people be acting a fool. And so I'm going to show it to you to let you know that thugs come in all colors. I'm going to say that again. Thugs come in all colors. Okay? So on today's episode of What the Hell is Wrong with Y'all? We're going to get into this story of a white man breaking into the wrong house and how it's handled. Wait, before we get into this episode 2 of Hillbilly Blues here, have y'all hit thumbs up? How many people here? It's 272 people here right now and 233 thumbs up. Some of y'all ain't hit thumbs up. What's going on? What's going on? Do I need to kick you off? Because I'll pull this motherfucker over right now and kick you off my bus. Stop playing and tap on that button. I'm not asking you to tap dance like Chris Rock. I'm asking you to tap the thumbs up. It's a difference. Hit it. Don't make me cut you off. I'll turn into Tokyo Tonio on you real quick. All right.
This is not your fucking house. Go away. What the
Not he broke into the wrong house. A white man breaks into another white man's house by mistake. Girl.
On a fucking plane! I want my money. This is not the right house! This is not the right house! Oh shit! Where is he? Who are you looking for? Where is he? Who are you looking for? Get out here now. Who are you looking for? Where is he?
Let's go. The cops will handle it. Let's go.
Where is he?
Who? On video.
Who? Where is
Your
he?
brother.
Your brother. I don't have a brother. I don't have a brother.
You might be at the wrong house.
Who are you looking for?
What's his name, Haley?
What's his name?
I am so sorry.
Hold on.
He hit my daughter with a car.
He hit my daughter with a fucking car. We have been here the entire time. We have not left the house. And I'll pay for this. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Who are you looking for? Come here. Come outside. I'm sorry. I'm not coming outside. No, I'm sorry. No. I thought. Stay away, please. Who are you looking for? This is the wrong house. I'm sure. I'll pay for it. Okay. What's your name?
What's his name?
Wait. We do not know anybody with that name.
Oh my God, you're at the wrong house. They said that he gave this address.
This is the wrong address.
I am so sorry.
We do not know anyone with that address.
I'm so scared. He ran my daughter over with a car.
Take money. I don't want money. We just want you to leave.
So
Take it. I'm sorry. Take it. I'm sorry.
He gave your address.
He gave me your address. I don't even live here.
I am so sorry.
Why would you not have the police coming in?
We have the police.
I don't think so.
We have the police coming.
Can you just? Here's 200. There's 200. I'm sorry. Can you just give us your name or your phone number?
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, you just want me to pay for it? I'll pay for it. I don't know what's going on.
I'm a contractor. I am so sorry.
No, why he take the money back? He gonna put a little $200 on the couch, and then when the man asks for his name, he gonna take the money back and say Robert. Oh, your name Robert? You guilty of breaking in? You guilty of whatever? And your name Robert? Let me call Gail King on the line. Gail, it's another Robert on the list. Yup, another Robert. And I can tell you're gonna have to keep him in line too. Robert. You're gonna have to keep Gail, another Robert. Yes, I'm not lying.
You do not do this. This is illegal. We could take legal action against you.
I understand. Please leave my house. Please just leave. Please just leave.
That is so
Please just leave.
Please just leave.
Please just leave. Please just leave. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Look at his door.
I am so happy that man did not have a
Baby.
This is not your fucking house. Go away. What the fuck? I'm fucking playing. I want my money. Fucking money now. This is not the right house. This is not the right house. Oh shit. Where is he? Who are you looking for? Where is he? Who are you looking for? Get out here now. Who are you looking for? Where is he?
Let's go. The cops will handle it. Let's go.
Where is he?
Who?
Who?
Where is your brother?
Your brother. I don't have a brother. I don't have a brother.
You might be at the wrong house.
Who are you looking for?
What's his name, Haley?
What's his name?
I am so sorry.
Hold on.
He hit my daughter with a car.
He hit my daughter with a fucking car. We have been here the entire time. We have not left the house. And I'll pay for this. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Who are you looking for? Come here. Come outside. I'm sorry. I'm not coming outside. No, I'm sorry. No. I thought. Stay away, please. Who are you looking for? This is the wrong house. I'm sure. I'll pay for it. Okay. What's your name? What's his name? Waylon. We do not know anybody with that name.
Oh my God, you're at the wrong house. They said that he gave this address.
This is the wrong address.
I am so sorry.
We do not know anyone with that address.
I'm so scared. He ran my daughter over with a car.
Take money. I don't want money. We just want you to leave. Take it. I'm sorry. Take it. I'm sorry.
He gave your address.
He gave me your address. I don't even live here.
I am so sorry.
Why would you not have the police coming in?
We have the police.
I don't think so.
We have the police.
Can you just? Here's 200. There's 200. I'm sorry. Can you just give us your name or your phone number?
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, you just want me to pay for it? I'll pay for it. I don't know what's going on.
I'm a contractor. I am so sorry.
You do not do this. This is illegal. We could take legal action against you.
I understand. Please leave my house. Please just leave. Please just leave.
That is so
Please just leave. Please just leave. Please just leave. Please just leave. Thank you.
Look at his whole door frame. Hold on. Look at his whole door frame. He broke in there. Where is he? Where is he? He was trying to make his wife happy. I mean, he could have been trying to protect his child, but I'm just surprised. What state was this? I don't know what state this was in, but it's like, was this an open to carry state? Because y'all hillbilly ass should have shot him. I guarantee if he was a different color outside of the inside of my hand, if he was the color of my nipples, y'all would have shot him. I mean, it's the understand. It's reasoning with the robber for me. What's your name? No, bitch. Let me take a picture of your license. $200 ain't enough. Leave 4. And if you don't want to leave 4, let me take a picture of your license. Otherwise, I really just got this whole video to give to the police any motherfucking way. I'm just saying. What? Y'all, am I lying? If they was the color of my nipples, it would have been different. It would have been different. Okay? That's what I'm saying. He better be lucky. That's the one thing. If it had been the same home, but a white perpetrator, yeah, it would have been different. But also, had it been the same perpetrator in a black person's home, it would have been a lot different. Like, imagine your aunts and uncles with this man bringing it to baby. Ben, what's his name? Ben or whatever. Oh, what was his name? Robert. Oh, baby, Robert would have met a different fate if they was black people. You're not busting in my door and I'm reasoning with you. Nah, not at all. You about to catch some of the same justice that the other woman from Baltimore who shot her own husband for touching on and messing with her daycare. Yeah, that's what you, or you would have really meant a banking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not given. It's not given. And his name got to be Robert. I said, come on, man. Did the man have his passport? Did he have his shots? Boy, would you like to go behind bars with Robert? R. Kelly. Hey, do you have your passport? Did you get your shot? Man, is you trying to go there with Rob in prison? All right, so let's move on to the next story. So, what was not me casually So let's get into okay, another story. Yeah, we need to get into it. It's very necessary. Okay, let me give myself a couple seconds to get my because girl, the following.
On your wrist of plain Jane.
You're tuned in to Jane, the plainest Jane. Be sure to thumbs up the video and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right. So it's time that we get into a little tidbit of Black news. All right. And so this story is extremely unfortunate, but I feel like it's an eye opener to really understand what medical professionals go through. It's at the intersection of abuse, colorism, and what different regions of the world normalize and what they expect, sadly. So let's talk about it. Okay. So there was this Black nurse, and she won just only $30,000 in a racial abuse lawsuit after her boss told her to bleach her skin after complaining about racist comments from patients. And her boss told her, quote, "You need to bleach your skin so the patients can be nice to you." So let's get into this narrative and the additional information that is in this story. And again, if you're looking for a way to support the show, make sure you hit thumbs up. Number one, it's free. You can send a cash app, $2. It's fine, $5, $10, whatever. But if it's not about money, just subscribe to the channel for more Black news and celebrity entertainment. Okay. So the narrative of this story: a Black nurse was told to bleach her skin so that white patients would be nice to her at her job. And her name is, I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher it, but I'm just going to say A. Kweyama, okay? Because I'm not sure how to pronounce her first name. But I'll just say A. Kweyama. She's a Black nurse who works at an immigrant removal center. Now, after reporting in 2019 that a patient racially abused her, he hurled an insult about lightening her skin. Then her boss proceeded to make hateful race-related comments to other staff members. This was not the first time a racial incident had happened, but this isn't the first time that a racial incident had been reported by Kweyama. Okay. And so according to the Daily Mail, a senior nurse told her, quote, "You need to get a pool of bleach and bleach your skin so that you come back tomorrow white and the patients will be nice to you." Her superior literally told her, "You need to get a pool of bleach and bleach your skin so that when you come back tomorrow white, the patients will be nice to you then." Now, Kweyama says she felt very insulted, she felt discriminated against, bullied, harassed, and she felt abused. Now, after suing said medical facility, she won a little over $30,000, United States dollars. Now, this is a crazy situation to think that you can be talked to this way. And a lot of us are familiar with different or certain regions, should I say, being, hell-bent on desiring light women and darker women bleaching themselves just to be attractive to the men. And I find that to be really sad and really heartbreaking, like beyond heartbreaking, that they want to deny their own beauty and the hues of their skin to look the way men want them to look. And a lot of times you can tell when a darker person has bleached their skin to look a certain way, like they look, you can tell. Something looks unnatural about them in general. And I've come across quite a few in my day. I'm 3 decades old. So I've come across a few, and it's just like, y'all do this to satisfy men, to get with them so that they can hit. But to everybody else, you look weird as hell. Like, you look weird, especially if you're over here. If you're over there in your country, maybe it's normalized to y'all, but like, it looks really weird. And I feel like you'd be more beautiful if you just left your skin tone alone and lived in however the skin you were born in. It's cool that she sued and that she got something, but I feel like she could have gotten more. We're talking about medical professionals. $30,000. Is that around about like a year's salary for something as bizarre as that? She should have definitely gotten more. Just $30,000. I feel like she should have gotten more. But it is a story that I wanted to make you all aware of. Not expired and dry. Yeah, sometimes they do look pink. You know how Sammy Sosa look? Now, Sammy Sosa looks... Sammy Sosa went through different phases and stages. But that's one of the things you can compare to. Like, you had deep skin and you started trying to do things to it to lighten it. And it does start to look a little weird. It looks pretty weird. Silly putty. Like... So it's really unfortunate that she had to go through this. I do think it's unfortunate that she wasn't awarded more than $30,000, but it is a story nonetheless that I wanted to make you all aware of. Okay. Now, I also want to get into another episode of What the hell is wrong with y'all? Because we definitely have one. Okay. And let's go ahead and get into that. Drop some pancakes in the chat if you haven't already. All right. We are nearing the end of the show. Not much longer to go, but I do still have some Chris Rock to talk about. I was too hard on Chris Rock. I was too hard on Chris Rock. So we're going to talk about that. Keep it locked. Drop some pancakes down below. If you're a channel member, drop your special channel emojis. If you're not a channel member, drop some regular pancakes down below, and we'll be right back.
Get into this Black-owned business, Stickies. It's got things for inside your home, outside your home, and even on the go. JasmineMadeIt.com is your new destination for Black Girl Magic mugs, tumblers, and even wine glasses. You can even customize the tumblers and wine glasses. There's a lot going on for a low price over at JasmineMadeIt.com. And if you've been serious about wanting to support more Black-owned businesses, here's your chance. Let JasmineMadeIt.com handle all your problems for family and friends. You ever had a friend over and they just wasn't catching the hint or paying the rent?
Y'all asses all get to stepping.
Yeah, tell them to get to stepping with this nostalgic Martin-themed doormat and shop over a dozen different doormat designs over on JasmineMadeIt.com. All right, Stickies, you know what time it is. It's time to put your money where your mouth is and shop Black today. Make life easier for you and your household by taking your family's hot or cold beverages on the go with one of these unique tumblers. It's insulated to keep your beverage at temperature, and it comes with a few different reusable straws and even the specific brush that you need to wash it so you can keep it sanitized and germ-free. They've got all kinds of designs to match your mood or style. So grab something for your wife, the hubby, or even the kids over on JasmineMadeIt.com. That's JasmineMadeIt.com, and I'll see you over there.
All right, and we are back. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I do appreciate that. Like I said, if you're looking for a way to support the show, just hit the thumbs up button. It's more than enough. If you want to take it a step further, you can send a Cash App, $THA, PLAINESTjane. Double check it before you send, and that's appreciated as well, whether it's $2, $5, $10, $20, $40, whatever the case is. It means a lot. So before we get into our last story or segment of the day, the pink sauce lady is back. The pink sauce lady is back, and I really just want to know who let her back in the kitchen, who allowed her back into the kitchen to play with the food the way food is being played with. It's bad enough we have to deal with the fact and the realization that they're making ranch and ice cream. Ranch ice cream. I say, what? Everybody's so creative. French ice cream, soon to be sold at Walmart. Please. And we busy trying to deal with that. And we busy trying to recover from that. And here comes the goddamn what's her name? Pink sauce lady, girl, woman, whatever you want to call her. Let's go ahead and take a look at what she got going on. What she's doing. She's back. I'm trying not to laugh at y'all comments because y'all are really off the hook. Honestly, y'all are 100% off of the hook. The hook is not on. It's not on y'all. The hook. All right, let's get into it. Thank y'all for hitting thumbs up on the video. Thank you for sharing the video via text message, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, group chat, text message, however you share videos. It really does mean a lot to me.
Alright, so here's how I made the pink pasta. So first I started by boiling my pasta in red dragon fruit. Then I strained it and rinsed it in cold water. I caramelized my butter. I added heavy whipping cream, garlic, house seasoning, fresh chives, lemon zest.
I need to meet it a little bit so I don't get copyright.
In my pasta, and I mixed that together thoroughly, and then I added in more pink dragon fruit to give it that eating process. So this is where it became so fun for me. Food can be exciting.
Not you.
I caramelized my butter.
Who let her back in the kitchen? Who? Because I want to have some words. I got some things that I want to say to you. I got some things that I want to say about you. I don't feel like you need Jesus because you let her back in the kitchen. I feel like you need your ass beat.
Pink color. Then I began the plating process. So this is
playing
so fun for me to prove to y'all that food can be exciting, fun, colorful.
And so she got sauce in between grapefruit, and then she put flowers in pink ass noodles. Everybody's so creative. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Stop playing in these people's kitchen. We like these videos when these black folks are reacting to white people acting a fool in the kitchen and wasting food. And here you go, joining them. Everybody's so wasting food and annoying as shit and shouldn't be a part of that club that wastes food. Pink noodles and shit. Bitch, you dyeing noodles pink just because you... I get it. Like, liking pink ain't a crime. At this point, I feel like she decorate her poop to be pink, too. I feel like she just be, like, eating dragon fruit so that her poop can be pink. Like, stop! Stop this obsession. Spaghetti ain't gotta be pink. Fuck wrong with you? Whoever let her back in the kitchen, They should serve time. Real bad. Real bad. And I
It was gone. Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
because I'm just trying to understand, like,
why?
she experiment with food the way that like hairstylists experiment with hair. Like, I think I'm gonna do a pink bob. I think I'm gonna do like stop all that thinking. Stop it. Because the thinking that you're doing, it ain't straight. But you know what? If y'all want to eat it, and if y'all want to support that shit, let me know. Hit me up. I would love to report on y'all's story. And I'll do it right. Reporting live from outside of the hospital room. Someone has salmonella from pink noodles and pink sauce and a heap of audacity and a lack of common sense. I'll be there to cover it. I'll make sure everybody knows what's going on if and when you decide to digest what she's selling, what you're remaking that she's reselling. If you're taking her advice pertaining to what she does in the kitchen, you kind of deserve what you get, but I can stay away from blaming you if you want me to report on just the illness itself. If you want me to just report on the illness and spread awareness, I won't call you an idiot. I'll just say, pink sauce lady caused a few different things, and this customer here believed her every word. Here's a look at what they have to say. You know, I'll do that for you. I'll do that for you. So just hit me up. You know what I mean? When you get sick, because if you following this shit right here, you will get sick. Trust me, baby. You won't get sick. So, yeah, pink lady need to go away. That's just that. You know what I mean? So I don't know where she's buying dragon fruit, but I wish they would cut her off. Like it's alcohol at the bar. How much dragon fruit you bought this month? You're cut off. No more. No more. No more. You know what I mean? No more. They should stop. At this point, I kind of want to fight. I want to fight, or I want to sue the person that's giving her all this dragon fruit. I really do. So it's that's that. Let me get these pink noodles off the screen because I just can't. We ain't talking about Kaepernick either, baby. So it's been brought to my attention that I was too hard on Chris Rock. Was I too hard on Chris Rock? Was I not? I don't know. Was I too hard on Chris Rock based off of my review when, you know, I spoke about the special. I spoke about, you know, I gave my opinion on it, right? And I did get a couple of comments that felt like, you clearly just don't like him. You can't be unbiased. Well, it sounds like you're biased because I can hear his dick hitting like the back of your throat. Like I can hear that. So like you calling me biased with his dick in the back of your throat. Like, hello. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. I watched his special. I said how I felt about it. You may not like it, but it's literally just my opinion. It's not fact. So, you know, get used to it. But I do have a special guest. I have a special guest. Go.
Following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more Black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy.
So it's come to my attention that I may have been a little bit too hard on Chris Rock, and there's someone who told me about it, and so they're going to be a special guest. So let's talk about it. Was I too hard on Chris Rock? Does he deserve some grace? Is Will Smith the victim right now? Let's rehash this with none other than JS1 the Supplier. Shout out to my special guest. What is going on?
Oh, I got hand claps. That's what's up. I'm here.
What's going on? Okay, so Chris Rock and Will Smith, a year later, well, to be specific, 51 weeks after, he gets slapped and the 5 fingers met the face at the Oscars. And he comes out with this explosive special on Netflix. First time Netflix ever did a live streaming event, which that aspect I did think was very cool. I hope they do more of that in the future. But you said I was too hard on Chris Rock. Can you explain that to the people?
Well, can we get into like what you were saying on Twitter? Do you even remember any of the things you were going on Twitter? And if you haven't followed Jane on Twitter, please follow her because you're very entertaining. I'm just letting you know that. So it's thePLAINESTjane, whatever. All right. So all right, let me get into the specifics. So you threw up a clip and you called him a career panderer. Career panderer. And
don't forget the raccoon emoji.
It wasn't like you laced together 10 or 15 clips of him pandering. You just had one clip where he was sitting with 3 megastars.
White people.
Seinfeld, Louis C.K., and who's the other guy from Britain? I forgot his name. So they're sitting around having a conversation, and then they start flinging the N-word around like it was a basketball. And like he's sitting there laughing, and he kind of going along with it. And yeah, nigga this and nigga that. And I was just like, all right, that's cool. But why now do we need to cancel him based off of him? One, let's say if I concede to your point that he's a panderer, great. Why is he the bad guy now? He got slapped in the face on international television. He became the biggest news story. Can we agree that this is like one of the biggest stories of the decade?
Yeah, I agree. I do.
It wasn't because he won an award or he's a great actor or it was a funny moment. He got the mess slapped out of him and the whole world saw it. He had the opportunity to get him arrested. He didn't. To Will Smith. He had the opportunity to arrest Will Smith. He did not do it. He had the opportunity to press charges against Will Smith. He did not do it. He had the opportunity to go on 1,000 different news networks and trash him to high heaven, and we were all on his side to do so. Did he do it? No. He said, bro, either you're going to cut me a check or I'm going to wait until I'm able to address it when I want to address it. 51 weeks later, as you said, he gets on his stand-up, got a check for it, which he said that's what he wanted to do. And then he didn't even make the whole stand-up about it. It was 10 to 15 minutes at the end of an arguably mid stand-up and said his piece. And still respected Will enough to not say his wife's name per you saying it. You said he didn't mention his wife's name once. So he respected the man's wishes.
He called her a B, though.
Oh, I'm gonna get there. He respected Will's wish. He said, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Is her name bitch?
No.
Is her name bitch? No, it's not. So he respected his wishes. But he still expressed himself. After being slapped and embarrassed and disrespected in front of the entire world, you don't feel like he's entitled to call out the woman whom not verbally, but emotionally pressured her husband to slap him. Number two, also the woman that tried to pressure him indirectly to not do the event because of whatever reasoning she had, tried to get him to quit a job where he was getting paid. So that man doesn't have the ability to be upset and pissed off.
Emotionally pressure?
Emotionally pressure. You like that, don't you? Like, you can use that.
No, I don't like that. It's not accurate.
Yeah, because there is emotional pressure. There are people. All right, say if you was hosting the Oscars and I was like, man, you shouldn't, PLAINESTjane should quit the Oscars because they ain't treating black people right. And how can, Jane be up here doing the Oscars and we trying to get right for us and our people and da. And you like, damn, nigga, I'm just trying to get a check, bro. They call me, they offer me whatever amount. And you're like, bro, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Like, can I? No.
That was a roundup of encouraging all black people to not participate and support it. Nobody called Chris Rock out by name. It was, listen, the Oscars are so white. That was the year the Oscars so white hashtag came about. And so it was like, you know what? They are not inclusive. Their, academy is biased towards us. So let's boycott. Every time people do a boycott, everybody doesn't agree. Some people still participate. That's okay. Chris made it seem like Jada called him up or went on some public campaign. Chris is still hosting the Oscars and we should be. That's not what it was. That's not what it was.
Emotional pressure. But even in that situation, they brought in a black producer. They gave out mad awards to black actors and actresses. They brought in a black host. So, I mean, they're addressing the issue. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and defend the Oscars. I'm not trying to defend the Oscars at all. The only thing what I'm doing to represent my client today is to present the facts as they offer. If somebody has slapped you in front of the entire world and it made international news, not just for a day or a week, it was months. Almost, we're still talking about it a year later, to the point where, let's agree, the reason why we all tuned into that special is we wanted to hear him talk about that slap. So that's your moment to get off. He got off. He got it off. He said what he had to say, and it was funny, and it was intellectual. The moments where he was like, yo, so your wife cheat on you, and then pull you in on the show and be like, yo, I cheated on you. How you feel about that? Yo, do you know how that was?
That was funny. I must admit, that was funny, especially when he put it into that context. That was funny. Yeah.
Emotional damage. So anyway, when you present all of these things, anybody else, if it wasn't Chris Rock, we'd have all been like, man, he did his thing, man. Yo, he got his got back. He got his get back. But now, for whatever reason, whatever people's hate for Chris Rock that they ain't really expressed over the years, he ain't never, because all I'm hearing now is he was never that funny. Man, none of his movies was good. Y'all forget about Fargo. But let's say, we want to, as we do with black people, whenever we get in our little feelings, especially about somebody that we love, because we do love Jada. That's why we let Jada get away with it. Let's be
Jada
real.
get away with what? She did not slap anybody. All she did was roll her eyes and express discomfort. If I'm sitting out somewhere and somebody disrespects me and my boyfriend sees me roll my eyes like that, made me uncomfortable. That's not emotional manipulation. That's me expressing that, all right, that just pissed me off, but I'm going to just sit here. She didn't say, go slap him. She rolled her eyes, and Will went up there and did that. She didn't make. She even tried to grab his hand and bring him back.
But can we also understand that when she rolled her eyes, and I'm not going to say that she intentionally did it for Will to get up and do something, but let us be cognizant of the fact that Will Smith has been the butt of the joke, and he has taken on a lot out of the situation. Manned up, took everything, and bottled it. In that moment of her having that moment, he snapped and he reacted.
And that has nothing to do with Jada. She has a right to express when a joke is offensive to her. Why put an expectation on a woman to say, when you're offended, be still-faced, pretend like it didn't happen so that nobody around you reacts? Like, that's unreasonable as hell. He's a grown man.
I am not here to argue that point, ma'am.
To get up and smack Chris Rock because he wanted to, and because it's been a pattern for years. He's been badgering and always picks on Jada Pinkett. And my point is, with him always, yes, it's a pattern for years. And Will Smith even pulled him to the side and asked him to stop, and he refused to because he feels like he's a comedian and he can do it. Hey, some actions have consequences. All the consequences ain't right. But here's my point to him being a career panderer, and let's not leave out the raccoon emoji I put in that tweet too. Would he feel as comfortable, since the majority, a great bulk of his demographic, he loves to keep the white people laughing. That's why he let him say the N-word, and he thinks it's so goddamn funny. Would he do that? Would he continuously pick on a white woman in the audience that's sitting there next to her husband year after year after year? At what point does he start humiliating white people the way he has humiliated Jada over the years? Does he feel comfortable enough to make white people uncomfortable enough? the way he makes black people, Jada Pinkett, black women, Janet Jackson, and the list goes on and on. Does he have that in him? No, it don't seem like it.
Can I get my hand raised? All right. He has humiliated white people quite a few times. It has been a bunch of times. On every white man's wife. All right. So tell me this. Outside of the off-color joke that he made, and I'm going to call it off-color because it wasn't no bashing on Jada. It was like, yo, G.I. Jane, bro. G.I. Jane is not even a bad joke. G.I. Jane was a powerful woman who was trying to become
But she has the right to not like it. She has the right to not like it.
We have no problem. Yo, I'm not here to argue the fact that she has nothing, but we're talking about you're using the term he bashed her. He didn't bash her. He said an off-color joke. That's it. That's all I'm going with. Now, regardless of the situation, and shout out to Samantha, who was like, I'm saying some BS. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Because this is all BS, but we all have a great time talking about it. At the end of the day, if it wasn't Chris Rock, let's take the name out of it. A man who was humiliated should have his day to say his piece. He said his piece. He didn't say he wanted them to die. He didn't, call for people to stand up and reject them and take away his awards and take him out of the movies. He didn't sue him. He didn't take a gun. Hey, the Chris Rock family definitely wanted to whoop some ass. He didn't do that. So, I mean, like, yo, he came out on stage. He said what he was saying. It is what it is, bro. Like, the only thing I'm here to argue is let that man have his moment. And then let's move on. We don't need to get into tearing this nigga whole legacy down because of that 10 minutes. That 10 minutes didn't deserve that.
Ain't nobody tearing his legacy down.
Really? You just went on Twitter and found this clip that I've never seen before. And
that's crazy. You haven't seen it. That clip has been going around for years.
And you know why? Because Chris Brown, I was about to call him Chris Brown. We're going to get to him next. But Chris Rock, he ain't on my radar like that. And like, yo, Chris Rock has been, and this is the only point I'm going to make when it comes to that particular clip, is that like, when you're talking about high-level comedy, it's not a lot of black people in that world. And when you start operating in that space, you can't, all right, let's put you in that seat. Let's take Chris Rock out and put you in that seat. Yo, you are there by the grace of those individuals allowing you to be in that space. And being in that space allows you to make $500,000 a show or more. So you want to curse these dudes out and potentially cut off that money, and all you got to do is just laugh it off and be like, I ain't really fucking with that shit. Or, hey, it's funny. It is what it is. It's comedy. And let y'all do what y'all do. And if y'all get canceled, that's on y'all. Come on, that's that moment.
If they get canceled and I let them say the N-word, I'm getting canceled too, because why did I let that slide, and why would I nervously laugh it off as if I don't have no stake in the game, as if I haven't been in the entertainment business for a couple decades now? Like, no, it would have been a cool thing. Pump the brakes. That's not your word to say. Laugh that off and move on to the next thing. If they real comedians, they could have moved on from the N-word. They stayed there for a while. If you look at the clip in its whole context, and he gave them the liberty to do so. Just because I'm invited into a room doesn't mean I have to tolerate anti-black disrespect, racial disrespect, because I'm the only black person in the room. And I could get that coming from a person from my tax bracket. It would be more understandable. But coming from somebody that's already rich and already has skin in the game like him, there's no reason he tap dances and he gives white people license to say shit like that. No reason.
So maybe he hasn't grown enough to that point where he feels comfortable being able to fight that fight. Everybody
and he's too goddamn old for that shit.
Well, at what point does okay, all right, cool. At the end of the day, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? We all want to lay our judgment and whatever. We are all in different levels of development. Everybody's ability to fight is different. And obviously he's not.
He can't physically fight. He can't fight a race. He can't stand up for himself.
There we go. We've established a pattern of a person dealing with a lot of stuff. Shoot, even himself admitting that he's going through therapy and dealing with a lot of stuff. Like, it's just a reality of something. Only thing I'm trying to say is this is a man who has been in pain, who has been treated like shit, obviously put in a lot of awkward situations. He just wanted to have his moment to say what he was going to say. He said it. And he has
that right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it was, he has that right. Nobody's saying don't talk about it. I'm not saying that. I just feel like it was late. I feel like it was flat. And I feel like it was disrespectful towards a woman that really had, now, again, what they share at that red table, cool. Like, that was, interviewing the person that cheated on you. That was funny, right? But calling her a bitch and whatever else, it wasn't in the best taste, in my opinion. And when you come out with a comedy special, comedians are used to that. So to act like people aren't allowed to have an opinion about his stand-up is ludicrous to me, because comedians know, first of all, if you don't hurt any feelings and it wasn't good, that's their first rule of thumb. Everybody's not going to be satisfied with those jokes.
I will agree with that. I don't necessarily feel like comedians have to go out to hurt people, because then, the God Fluffy, will never have a job.
Somebody's got to be the button. Somebody, something, some event, person, place, thing has got to be the butt end of the joke. So by default, you're going to offend people. Some people going to have to stick up their ass when at the end of it, you might get the most of people that like it, but you're going to hurt some feelings if you go on that stage regardless. You've been picking on the Jacksons for years. He's been picking on Janet Jackson and Jada Pinkett and whatever the case is, but when it comes
Chris
to
Rock, the only person to attack those people, though. There's a bunch of comedians that still attack those individuals, and we're not calling them to the sticky stage today. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is, other people, they spread it out. They're an equal opportunity jokester, and it
equal
seems
opportunity
like
abuser.
It seems like Chris Rock literally stays hovering around the Black community to see who he can pick at, and he stays around the same area, and he does it at the expense of us to make white people laugh. I mean, for you to say, I wanted to see him
you
get
just
whipped.
turned Chris Rock into a comedy predator. Is that what you just did? You just
yeah, because he does. I guarantee you, he doesn't have the balls to pick on the same white to pick on the same white woman over a married white woman, right? A man is going to get fed up with that at some point. And he's literally been picking at Jada Pinkett over the years, and she's tired of it. And a white woman would get tired of it, a Black woman, a purple woman, a green woman, any woman. But when he's trying to satisfy these white, again, he can't even stand up against the N-word, right? In a room full of white people. Do you think he really has it in him to talk about some rich hillbilly's wife over and over and over again? He can't even.
Let me ask you this question. So outside of the Oscar stage comment, what other instances did he reference Jada Pinkett in this barrage of things?
Been a couple times over the years at stand-up. There was another time, I can't remember if it was the Oscars, but there was another show he was hosting. It's happened about 4 different times he's done it. And she's always kind of like, rolled her eyes, or just like done something where it's evident when the camera pans to her that it makes her feel some type of way. And I guarantee if that was a white woman, he wouldn't show up and continuously try to pick on the set. At the very least, all I'm saying is spread it out. Spread it out. That way the same person isn't getting hit with strays all the time. And that's something he doesn't do. And when it comes to him, I've heard him make people,
I've heard him make fun of Madonna. I've heard him make fun of this person, that person, like these white females or white males. He's made fun of a lot of different people.
Over and over.
I don't remember. The only reason why I don't remember it is because they weren't polarizing, and it wasn't a moment. Like, I feel like this particular moment was fresh off. First of all, the joke. Then there was a slap, so that made it memorable. Then the slap was a result of a polarizing event that happened maybe a year before that. So, like, yeah, I'm going to remember that. But I don't remember anything else before that. I do remember there being random jokes throughout the years, because I've seen Chris Rock make fun of tons of people, and it wasn't just Jada Pinkett. So, like, you know what I mean? I just feel like in a moment, we are extra sensitive. And you know what I'm saying? Of course, hey, bro, I'm from Baltimore. I love Jada Pinkett. She got the same last name as me. I think I'm related to her some kind of way. You know what I mean? In real life, for real, seriously. But like, I'm not about to trip like that. Yo, as a celebrity, we all are open to take shots. It is what it is, bro. And like, that is the name of the game. Now,
and some shots are physical and some are metaphorical.
And guess what? And you know what? And I think that goes back to the reason why he didn't press charges. And he didn't like try to take him to court, because he understands this is a part of the game. Hey, I say something off color, there's reactions that's gonna happen with it. So like, my whole thing is, if he can take the slap and let it go, y'all gotta let the jokes ride. It's like almost paying the price. Hey, I let this look. I took the consequences for my action, but just understand that don't mean I'm gonna stop. I'm just dealing with it, and I just know to keep more security around me next time. We'll want to come out of the rap, but like we're gonna be able to do what we're gonna do. There are other comedians that have gone after people time and time again, and it'd be crazy, but that's a part of free speech, and that's a part of us being comedians. But go ahead.
It's the combination of the Jada Pinkett Smith thing, why she didn't like it, right? The fact that he's done it repeatedly over the years, and I really just don't think he has the balls to go at a white man's wife over and over again over the years, right? He just doesn't have it. You can't name me a woman who he. And then on top of his anti-black rhetoric, like his anti-black rhetoric, like I wanted to see him get whipped again, and then this was the thing. I'm mad, so I just watch it just to. And then his final thing being like, if you're not a fighter, you're not a fighter. I felt like his message was kind of conflicted. Like, whoever say words don't hurt, whatever, I'm not a big guy, basically like, I can't beat you twice my size. Then he gets to the end and say, I didn't hit him back because my mom taught me not to fight in front of white people.
That was a great ending.
What the? That speaks
it's called a wrap up.
And it's called for me, that's some corny shit. It goes to show that you're willing to have your ass beat in front of white people, not to mention and the way you let them call you a nigga, you let somebody hit you and you feel like don't front, like you can't fight, right? And you feel like you're gonna fight with your words, cool. And we have the right to criticize those words and have discourse about those words. And some of the shit fell flat, some of it didn't make sense, but it just goes to show he's willing to be treated like shit in front of white, because if they were black people, if he got slapped in front of black people, he would have still cowered and not hit that man back. That he would have still done that. So it was
he did get hit in front of black people. We was all watching. It wasn't just a white audience.
But he said, my mom told me not to fight in front of white people. In other words, these white people show. If it was a BET award, the Source Awards, he would have done the same fucking thing. So it was a voided point, and it contradicted how he opened his show with, he's twice my size, that shit hurt, I'm not like. So your excuse for not hitting him back is, I'm in front of white people, I just got to get my ass beat. Okay, that's what I got to do.
So in a wrap up here, what do you feel like will be the appropriate way for Chris Rock to have presented that 15 minutes?
I feel like it should have been sooner. Number one, it sucked that it was
sooner
live
in the stand-up.
No. I mean, not a year later.
Oh, okay. What you thinking? Like 3 months?
Thanksgiving, Halloween, something like that. I think that would have been something. It seems a little stale now. Now we're bringing. We're it literally feels like we're right back in last year. All the slap talk all over again. So it does seem like it was a bit long. Yeah, you had the right to talk about whatever, especially when you took a hit. Like, talk about it. But again, we have the right to talk about it too. I just feel like it could have been sooner. And I don't feel like I feel like it would have been better had he called Jada a hoe rather than a bitch. I just feel like the bitch was a bit much. People acting like she told Will to go do that. She shouldn't have been catching strays for a moment where her husband lost control. And it happened too fast. It's not like she could go up there and chase him or anything like that. And honestly, the stand-up in its totality could have been a bit more than mid. Could have been. It definitely seemed like he was just giving his commentary about his life, his rich, spoiled children, and it was like he kind of went hard on everything else except for the LGBTQ ABC 123 XYZ community. So,
hey man, that's the third rail of comedy right now, man. That's a touch and go space to play.
Oh, so yeah. I thought comedians were supposed to not hold back, and
man, they shouldn't. I feel like there's only a few people that can really touch on it. And I feel like Dave Chappelle catches hella flack over that shit. You know what I'm saying? But he still does what he's gonna do. But his life is built differently. Like, you know what I mean?
Don't be saying anything discriminatory. Dave is masterful with his, because he doesn't say anything discriminatory, but they're still up in arms about it. But honestly, at the end of the day, it hasn't affected Dave. If anything, he's made headlines, but it hasn't affected his bottom line.
If I may say, it has affected him, but he prepared his life to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like his money is touring. His whole life is touring. So he understands that as long as I can feed my audience, I can sell tickets, I'm good. But like Chris Rock isn't built like that. His life isn't built off of touring. His life is built off of being able to do films, which are heavily collaborative, which requires you to be able to deal with a lot of white people. So like you kind of got to play nice to a certain extent. If not, then you're not able to make those movies. You know what I mean? Not be able to do those things. You know what I mean? Him doing it earlier, that's a debatable part of it. Him using hoe instead of bitch, because Jada technically wasn't a hoe. They were on a break. She explored her sexual interest in one guy. It wasn't like a slew of guys. So hoe wouldn't be accurate. Her being annoying or being extra technically would put her in the bitch round. So technically he's using the appropriate word for the situation. I don't feel like the term bitch was that heavy. Women call each other bitches all day long. I don't understand why.
And it's not the same. And black people call each other niggas all day long. It doesn't give people who aren't a part of that dynamic the right to say that. Like,
do you feel like she would? Do you feel like it would have been better if he had referred to Jada as a nigga?
I mean, yeah. Yeah,
that would have been okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, arguably, some people, they were on a break and Some people still look at that. Not to mention the like, from as long as I can remember, the marriage, the rumors of them being swingers or having an open marriage, technically based off of, from the outside looking in. Long story short, like it, from a distance, it looked like a hoe, and in a comedic sense, it wouldn't have been. Oh, he calling her. Like she slept with somebody that's not her husband. So
but it was
sticky. It was sticky. So I mean, you could summarize and call it a hoe, but
very much so. What if he called her a nappy-headed hoe? Would that be cool?
Bye. He made a movie called Good Hair. And not that even that film even dropped the ball in a couple different ways. But
are you serious? Oh, come on. I love that. I don't even know if it's a documentary or a straight movie, but come on. And that's another thing. You're going to say he hate black people, but then he do a dope thing like that. Like,
I'm not saying he hates, I mean, first of all, he's good at pandering, number one.
And when everybody hates Chris.
Exactly. And he knows that. And he knows that. And you know what I mean? So for the people who are just coming out and calling him a coon or whatever the case is, actually, we've been calling him that. It just because he's trending now, it's like, oh, remember that coon that we was talking about? It's his time to shine. He wanted to bring this shit back up again. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword. He wanted to bring it back up to talk about them, but his chops aren't off the block either, because we haven't forgotten all the anti-black things that he has done over the totality of his career.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the queen of entertainment has just told y'all what it is. I'm right, she's wrong, but we're gonna let you guys live in infamy forever. Thank you for having me on. That's all I'm saying.
No problem.
It, man. I mean, if there's any other points you want to throw in there, I'm willing to chop suey it up with you. Like, I don't know, like that one video wasn't enough for me to cancel Chris, and I don't hate Chris. I love you, bro.
I mean, and nobody's saying he should be, canceled. Cancel culture is a thing. We just, because first of all, he's not going to be canceled. Why? The white people love him. The white people love him. Them white people was, oh my God, he got hit on the job. He got assaulted. Oh my God. Black people are dying and being killed by police every day, and they couldn't give a fuck. But when it comes to this man getting a basic ass slap in the face, and I'm not trying to minimize, because it especially when you look at the still image, it's like, damn, he really slapped that.
I'm about to say that wasn't no basic slap.
All of
that
a sudden, but it's not the same as the black people. As when it comes to the black death rate and black people being slaughtered in the streets, they don't give a fuck. As a matter of fact, it's their grandparents doing it, and some of them are saying, well, you shouldn't have been speeding. Well, you should have just obeyed the law. Like, they got excuses for that shit. But when it comes to this room that they're in, it's I just can't believe he was smacked, because he's their token nigga. He knew from the moment that shit happened that those white people were going to be on his side, because he didn't fight back and because they are his demographic, and he wants him to look like the hoodlum and for him to be that nice, accepted token nigga. Period.
Okay. One more random question, because one of my great friends in Baltimore, I won't say her name, but on Facebook, she went ape because she said, "How dare Chris Rock come to Baltimore, Jada Pinkett's hometown?"
Yep.
And do everything. And then she went off. She said, all of you niggas that went to that show and clapped for him as he disrespected one of our own. And I didn't understand what she was saying at first.
I said the same thing in my video.
I was like, I said, either that was the most gangster shit in the world, or he just didn't even think about that.
He absolutely did. It was strategic. It was nastily strategic. He could have went to Philly. And here's the thing: if you watch the whole thing, I think when you click on the Netflix special, they've edited it and it's just him coming out or whatever. But if you watched it, everybody else was in LA. He was here in Baltimore. It would have been nothing for him to go anywhere else and do the thing. But they were going literally, one camera's in LA, then they went to him, and then they went back to LA. He could have been in LA. He could have been in Philly. But he decided to specifically come here to Baltimore as a slap in the face to Jada Pinkett Smith. I absolutely concur with that. Yeah, I pointed that out in my video too.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet him. And that's definitely one of my first questions. Yo, did you really come to Baltimore just to like shit on? Because Baltimore niggas is crazy. Like, we 8-ball. Like, niggas would have really, if we was high at the time. We were so high and full watching you. But if we had really thought about it, we would have kicked your ass. That's crazy. Like. Yeah, he dangerous for that.
I think the niggas was just happy to be in the audience. The camera was panning everywhere, and everyone was laughing that I saw as the camera continued to pan down at the Hippodrome.
If I wasn't lazy and I had caught my tickets early, like I was planning on doing, but then I was like, I'm gonna wait a day or two, and then them tickets doubled in price, because I could have got them for like a $120 a piece. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait a couple of days, and then they doubled. It was like 3 and some change. I would have been one of them people in the audience clapping as he had made fun of Jada, and you would have been talking about me bad too. And I'd have been like, yo, that shit was so funny. Yo, did you hear the part we called her a bitch? Yo, that shit was so, she crazy. I mean, we chic, man. We chic. We ain't
lashings. Let me hold on. Let me go to the bush.
It was gone. Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
I cannot believe you. I cannot believe you. I mean, whose side are you on?
I'm not on nobody's side. I'm having fun with my life, boy. Oh, they tell you once you hit 40, you stop caring, bro. I ain't even trying. I enjoy my life, man. I let these celebrity people who's getting 80,000 times more money I'm doing dumb stuff. Cause let me tell you something. They rich. They ain't got nothing else to do. They ain't got no jobs. They ain't got to worry about nothing. He got 4-5 different people taking care of them kids. Like, we out here working jobs. We creating content because we just trying to make ends meet. These fools got so much money. That's the only thing they got to do is sit around and be petty towards each other all day long. I don't give a damn. I'm going to laugh at y'all. And then when I get rich, I ain't going to hang around with y'all unless I need to make a check. You know what I'm saying? Not
you
true.
Ain't
you
shit.
Know, me,
I'm
me
glad I
can
can write down your true colors right now because
it's the true colors shining through.
I cannot with you. Thank you so much for coming through, Jay. I appreciate it. Let the people know where they can find you and what your platform is all about.
Like, you can follow me on that right there, JS1 the Supplier, or my YouTube channel is at VVC Life. It's a magazine / media platform. We do podcasts every week. I would love for you to come on to the Indie Show, Jane, one day. It's like it's a late night talk show, but it's also a game show. So like, we play games, like we talk about good stuff, and then like, you know what I'm saying, we give. So what is, you play the game. If you win the game, the audience members get the money.
That's
so
nice.
Like, yeah, so like, you know what I mean? So like, everybody loves it because somebody's gonna walk away $20, $30 or something like that. You know what I mean? At least you get enough for lunch the next day. You know what I mean? So we just have fun. I have another show called Black Nerd Podcast where we talking about movies, we talking about comic books, games, D&D, stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing right now, man. And then of course I'm doing a little business behind the scenes, as you know. You know what I mean? I am an executive every now and then, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I just love opportunities to hang out with you. You know what I'm saying? I love your platform. You know, I've been a big fan. I'll be in the comments saying my little doodads, trying to find a wife. So Samantha, if you're single, please hit me up in the DM. No,
Samantha don't want your dust dad.
Damn. It was all the way. Or make like Orisha, like Rish. Like
Licorice don't want you either.
Licorice don't want me neither. Damn,
no.
Licorice.
He's taking up for the male people.
What is the mayonnaisians?
All
right.
Can I
take that? Can I take that? Like, Reach, can I take the mayonnaisians and put it on a t-shirt? Like, I want to.
The mayonnaisians.
Yeah, man.
But no, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you stopping and letting me know that I went too hard on Chris Rock. Although I don't agree. You're wrong. I'm right. And that's just what it is. Okay.
Man, you bugging. There was a couple other things we were supposed to talk about too, but I ain't gonna get in that too.
But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen, or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.